What if I told you that one of the most sought after and industry changing wrestling cards was put out in 1994 by a very small company out of Illinois and is still sought after by collectors to this day? Well, today's the day for you. There you go. We're looking at the 1994 action-packed Macho Man gold card, serial number to 500, pack pullable, certified, on-card, auto. Wow, that was a mouthful. If this sounds like something you want to check out, stick around to find out more. As I stated, this card came out in 1994 from the Action Pack set. I did a whole video series on that set. You can go check that out there. Talked a lot about the company, the wrestlers in the set, the design of the set, kind of some wrestling topics that were going on at the time. So if you want more information about that, make sure to go check that out. So today, I'm going to give you 5 reasons why I think this Macho Man card is not only one of the most important cards in wrestling history, but possibly in sports card history. Trading cards overall. Bold statement, I know. So let's start off with the aesthetics of this card. Very plain background. And another example of less is more. It looks cool, the background, but you're putting the emphasis on the player, in this case the character of Macho Man, and all of his colors on his gear really stand out with the plain background. It's not busy, but it's still gold, which screams 80s and 90s. Oh, the gold card. It was like insert print or whatever. This was like a form of an insert card. It was part of the base set, but it was like a subset. So that's the first cool thing I noticed about the aesthetics of this card. And speaking of Macho Man and aesthetics, look at this gear. When you think Macho Man Randy Savage, this is what you think of. The cowboy hat, the glasses, the fringe streamer stuff. When you look at this picture, I don't know how you can not just want to snap into a Slim Jim. Another aspect of the aesthetic that's cool is the embossed feature. It's nothing new to cards. Sports cards have been doing. Action Packed did it before this card set. I believe WWF had some 3D cards in the 80s that had an embossed finish. They were bigger cards, but you get the point. And that's another thing that I noticed in the 90s. Now, me personally, maybe that's why I gravitate to the aesthetic of this card being cool. I discovered I believe it was the 94-95 Topps embossed basketball. I'd never seen a product like that. I love those cards. So going back and finding this card, as well as the entire 1994-95 Action Pack WWF sets. Again, you can check those out on that playlist. But just another cool feature that screams 90s. And another aspect of the cool aesthetic, and this is very minor, but to collectors, it's a very cool feature, and that's this being a prototype card. Now, this gets a little confusing, and I talked about this in the 94 video series that I did. But there's an Undertaker card and a Macho Man card. And they're both this gold version. No, I take that back. This one is the gold version. The Undertaker was his base card in the set. But if you look on the back, it says prototype. So these are the only 2 prototype cards made, and you can go buy the base versions of the prototype card. But all of these Macho Man cards are prototype cards. So there's some floating around out there that you'll see that are not serial numbered and don't have that prototype listed. I might be a little skeptical to buy those unless they've been graded by one of the grading companies. But just another aspect of a rarity scarcity factor of this card. And speaking of rarity scarcity, let's talk about that. This card is serial numbered. Now I know that's nothing new to sports card collectors, sports card investors, wrestling card fans, even non-sports fans. You can find non-sports cards that are serial numbered now and foiled and all that fun stuff. Back in the 90s, that wasn't so much a thing. The first card that I can ever remember being a numbered card would be the Vince Lombardi hologram trophy out of the 1990 Pro Set Football, which that card actually still brings quite a bit to market. This card is numbered to 500. 500, that's a ton. In today's environment, it is. That being said, you can only find 1 or 2 of these pop up at a time on eBay. So there's a lot of questions. Where are all 500 of these cards? Are they locked up in collections? Are they at the grading companies and we just haven't seen them yet because they're so backed up? Are they still in packs? Boxes? Were they thrown away? Was it an interesting case that we've heard about with a lot of wrestling cards specifically where the wrestlers get the cards and they don't sign them? I don't know. I want to know where these cards are. So, all that being said, that just makes this card even more rare. Fourth item I want to talk about with this card is the on-card autograph. Nothing new, once again, in today's aspects of sports cards and trading cards. However, back in the 90s, it was just kind of becoming a thing. I think, if I remember right, the 1990 Baseball Heroes Reggie Jackson set was the first on-card auto that you could potentially find, and I think that was numbered to 2,500 copies. So finding an autograph was really hard to do in packs. Specifically, Action Packs certified this auto. So when I bought my card, I got this little certification with it. I didn't personally pull it from a pack, so I'm not sure if this came with it, how this came in a pack, but this was one of the first wrestling cards ever to be pack pullable, certified, on-card auto. One thing about the auto is because of the embossed finish, a lot of times you will see on the Macho Man cards, they come across his body, so to speak, and the marker's kind of rubbed off a little bit. The Undertaker on his signed his in a different angle, so his signature is much cleaner, making this Macho Man one a lot harder to find in a really good autograph condition. Before we get into the last factor of why I think this is just a fantastic card, if you've enjoyed this video so far, give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button so you never miss any more of my uploads. Really appreciate the support. The last big factor about this card is star power. This Macho Man Randy Savage. He's one of the biggest names in wrestling. He's made pro wrestling history. Hall of Fame, legendary performer. And chances are, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you know Macho Man, but it could be for several reasons. From his catchphrases.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Maybe one of his famous storylines he was in.
Macho Man! Now, get him down from there! From the top! Whoa! Down the hole!
Or maybe they know him from being on shows, such as Baywatch, King of the Hill. He was in Spider-Man, and he was in a few others. But ultimately, everybody probably knows Macho Man if they're not a wrestling fan, or even if they are from...
Step into a Slim Jim!
All that being said, Macho Man, pure pop culture icon. Transcends wrestling, transcends everything. Just an all-star. So just to wrap things up about why this card is so great. Screams 90s with the design, the colors, the embossed finish. Serial number to 500. I know that's a lot for today, but as I've said, in the 90s, wasn't really a thing, so this is one of the first. Certified on-card auto that you could pull in packs. Definitely something new for the 90s. And, ultimately, the card is of a bona fide pop culture icon, wrestling superstar, wrestling legend. Everybody loves Macho Man. All of those things combined. Sounds like a good investment to me. Sounds like a safe place to put my money, and I have put my money there. I think you should put your money there, especially if you're a Macho Man fan. That being said, good luck finding one, because they're very hard to find. There's a lot you will see the base card autographed on and graded by PSA. That's cool. Go for those, but it's not this serial numbered certified auto. If you have any questions about this card, let me know down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer as much as I can, help you do some research on it. And if you enjoyed this video and you like wrestling card videos, make sure to check out the videos on the screens for even more awesome wrestling card information. I'll see you there.